Hello, rich girls. Welcome back to Old Money, the podcast to help you build the trust fund you wish you were born with. I am your host, Amber Evenson, and today is a very special episode. I have news for you. If there's one thing I can promise you about listening to Old Money, it's that I practice what I preach. The automated savings account, I have it. The automated investing, I have it. The budgeting and the money planning and the net worth tracking, I do it. And the lifestyle, it's never been about what it looks like on the outside. It's always been, how does it feel on the inside? That is the old money way. It's not about the flash. It's not about showing off. It's not about being a rich kid on Instagram or flashing your wealth or flaunting your revenue or doing whatever. Is my nervous system regulated? Am I making decisions that feel good for me? And how does that translate into the 5 dimensions of wealth? Money, time, relationships, purpose, and health. So today, I'm going to take you behind the scenes with some big news. Let's get into it. So if you haven't listened to the last few episodes, I've mentioned it here and there, but we moved, you guys. We moved from San Diego to San Francisco, which is a huge deal. I've lived in San Diego since 2005. I had a short stint in Northern California for a job, but this has been my home base for over 20 years now. And moving to San Francisco is a total new chapter, a new experience, a new identity that I'm really excited about. It's definitely bittersweet because for me, San Diego has been home, but also it's really represented to me a level of success that I've been able to make it here on my own for so long, starting a business here, making my way and being well known in my industry, in circles here, in this city that so many people dream to live in. And I don't take that for granted at all. And so this transition period is really interesting because I'm absolutely stepping into a new version of me, a new chapter, a new identity. I was actually in San Francisco for a conference in November of last year. And I grew up outside of San Francisco. My mom grew up in the city. And so when I was a kid, I'd go to the city with her almost every week to stay with my grandma and be with my cousins. And the city was always an escape for me. I, grew up in a suburban town where all the houses looked the same and all the moms were teachers and all the dads were engineers. And I didn't even know what an entrepreneur was, but I had pictures of Vogue magazine plastered all over my wall. And the second I got my license when I was 16, I got in my car and I drove myself to San Francisco to go to a punk show. Like, that was my vibe. I wanted to go and be where the energy was. And I always loved the experience of being in the energy, but kind of being outside of it because you can be anonymous in a big city. And when I was at this conference and I had purpose and a place to go and meetings and people that I was excited to see and dinners that were great and connections that were strong, I felt like the version of myself that I was imagining I would be when I was 16 for maybe the first time ever. I mean, I was clomping around in my big boots and big jacket and having the best time and popping into a boutique. I mean, it was just everything to me. And I'm really excited to step into living in a new city and making new friends and getting into new social circles or social clubs and trying the new restaurants. I've lived in the same place for 20 plus years. Every time there's a new restaurant, we all go on opening weekend to check it out. And then you've been, do you know what I mean? And that is great. And I love San Diego so much, but I am very excited to try something new and have that novelty. I'll be closer to my family, which I'm so excited about. And then you have Napa and Central Coast and all of the AI activity and all of the tech and all of the ambitious young people that are living up there. Like, I'm thrilled. And in that, at the same time, my business is exploding. Like, we have been doing so incredibly well this year, really just curating the most incredible team of people. I am obsessed with everybody who works at AF Marketing, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. And I'm having such a good time with it. And I'm having such a good time with Old Money. And I actually recently was reflecting on this because if you've heard me talk about my Friday closing shift ritual and the checklists that run my life, one of the things I do every week is I rank my life on 9 different categories. So If you're interested in doing this for yourself or setting up the system, this resource is available to you for free on oldmoneypodcast.com/resources. And it's my money date checklist. So every Friday I have this ritual where I go through, I set myself up for the next week. I review the previous week. I log my expenses, check my budget, yada, yada, yada. Well, one of the things that I do is I do this life audit. And this life audit is a piece of paper that I physically print out. I keep it in a binder and I look at a new sheet every single week, right? And I rank each of the 9 categories of my life. Now, if you want to download this for yourself, you can 1000% customize it to whatever it is that you need for you. But the weekly review that I have has 9 squares, and the squares are work, money, love, home, mental health, connection, health, fulfillment, and God or source. And every week I would rank my work 10 out of 10. I'm having a great fucking time. Like I'm having a great time with AF Marketing. I'm having a great time with Old Money. Old Money is popping off. We're growing. We just launched Old Money Mindset, which did so well. So many of you amazing women enrolled in that course to learn more about how to become an unshakable bitch. Like things are going good. And I'd go to money and I would say, okay, how did I do with my money this week? And I'd give myself a ranking 1 out of 10. And then love, 1 out of 10. And home and mental health and connection and health and self. And you know what? Although work was always a 10, some of the other categories I was neglecting. Like the last one that I mentioned, it actually says, it's got a little bit of a more poetic title. It says spiritual evolution and time to think, God and source. And I would be giving myself literally a 0 on that some weeks because I was not having any time to sit and think and dream or pray or manifest or design or be intentional because I've been in the flow and the momentum and I've been running and running and running and not in a bad way, just in a way that the movement was so much so that I wasn't pausing. Or like health, vitality, body intelligence. I was skipping a lot of my workouts the last couple of months because I've just been so busy doing all the things that I want to do. And I was like, you know what? It's so interesting because by every traditional metric, this would be the moment where you double down, you push harder, you capitalize on the momentum. And I decided to make a different decision. And this is the big announcement for today. I decided to go on pause. Not unlike Dorinda Medley of The Real Housewives of New York, but I decided to put myself on pause with Old Money. And it's not because something is wrong. It's because everything is actually right. And, you know, we're almost 150 episodes into the podcast. It's booming. Like I said, the audience is growing. We had a successful launch. And I think people expect that if I say I'm taking a break or I'm stepping away, it means that I'm facing burnout or I'm spiraling or I'm having some sort of failure or life crisis. But I want to flip it back to you in the real, true Old Money way. This break is fully from a place of discernment, and that in and of itself is the lesson. You guys are amazing. I'm obsessed with what has happened with this podcast. I mean, we got so lucky when we launched. We got so much exposure. We still get so many new people finding the podcast just through search terms. The momentum that we had early really propelled us for success, and I'm so grateful for it. And I'm obsessed with this brand. I'm obsessed with this project. Undertaking a podcast is no small feat. I know so many people who have tried to start podcasts and they're like, how do you do this? It takes so much time. I'm spending hours a week writing and programming and researching and then recording and then writing show notes. And of course, I have help with editing and all the things, but there's a lot that goes into it. And I love it, but also I have other areas of my life that I want to let shine, like my health. Like I want to get back into the gym. I want to be on my peptide game. I want to be supplementing, like doing those things. I want to go into my new city and live my new life and meet new people and give time and space to that. Because you know what? Old Money is always going to be here. And I think my old mindset or fear would have been, oh my God, I'm going to lose momentum. What's going to happen? Like my audience is going to go away. Well, here's what I know now. I built an audience once and I fucking love you girls. And if I take a break, you either decide to continue to listen, because I'll be popping in throughout the summer with a couple of updates. You just got to stay subscribed and I will pop into your life again. I promise you that. But also, if I built an audience once, I can build an audience again. That's abundance thinking. That is the mindset that I want to impart upon you. And by the way, it's not even a consideration because it's just about what feels good for me creatively. Well, I'm kind of thinking we're going to do a little bit something different for a season 2, which I'm really excited about. I think we're going to mix up the format a little bit. And so instead of trying to rush through it and soft launch it while all this other stuff is going on, I'm going to take some time away and get creative with it and enjoy my time with it. I'm going to be in rest and receive mode and see what comes through. And then I'm going to come back and feel even more inspired and more fresh instead of just continuing on when I'm going to decide to put my efforts and energy into other things because you got to go live your life so you have something to come back and talk about on the podcast. Do you know what I'm saying? And then also, as I mentioned, this is not from a place of burnout or chaos. This is a fully grounded, aligned decision that serves me. Old money energy is not concerned with the thoughts of others. It's not reactive. It's not built on urgency or panic or FOMO. It's built on choice. And having this decision made, and I was kind of percolating with it last week. And then Justin and I were sitting on the couch the other night and I sprung this on him. And when I was sharing this, I hadn't really, you have a thought that's not fully baked. I was like, I'm thinking this thing. I want to share it with you. And I wasn't even asking for advice or permission, not that I would need to, but I was trying to kind of work out how I felt about it. And as the words were coming out of my mouth, I was feeling in my body like, this is right. I am going to take a break. And it feels grounded and natural and without any fear or second thoughts or worries. I just knew it's what I needed. And it felt like a big permission slip to just take something off of my plate, not for a reason of like, I'm struggling, I'm drowning, I'm dying, but because I'm deciding to calmly pick it up, take it off the plate, and set it down somewhere else for a little bit. Because the other areas of my life are ones that I want to go dive deeper into. And the reality is you cannot call yourself wealthy if only one dimension of your life is thriving. Like if you're making more money than ever, hand over fist, it's coming in, good for you. But if it's at the expense of your relationships or your health or you're spending all your time doing it, who cares? That's not real wealth. So that weekly Friday check-in for me is actually a really great tool to be more intentional about where I want to invest my energy. Because energy, money, time, it's all an investment, right? And you'll get rewards and returns on where you put your energy if you do it strategically. So coming into this new opportunity of, expanding the business, expanding I was going to say our family, but we're not doing that yet, and expanding our home to San Francisco is honestly just a really beautiful moment as it relates to choosing, intentionally choosing and feeling so secure and sure in my bones that it's the right thing to do. And I think, every time I open my TikTok, everything on TikTok is like another workout, add another day that you're lifting, start wearing a weighted vest when you walk, add another income stream, add another supplement, add another obligation. You need to start doing this, do that. It's all about adding more, all the things you need to buy and consume and do. And for me, the real wealth is in the subtraction. It's about removing the things that are just not feeling aligned anymore so that your life can actually expand. And for you, that might look like saying no to an obligation that doesn't feel good anymore, or maybe it's setting a boundary, or maybe it's RSVPing no to an event or a vacation or a snack mom day at your kid's soccer game. The break, the space, the thing that you do to create boundaries is the space where you get to actually expand without schedule, without obligation. And for me, that's what I'm really excited to do. I think I just need a little bit of space so that I can grow as a woman into this new life. And I'm going to make the space for that. So if I were going to leave you with a homework assignment or a thought to think this week, I would ask you if you're holding on to anything simply because you think you're supposed to. Are you continuing to do something out of a habit or out of fear or expectation, or you're trying to control something and it just doesn't feel in alignment anymore? What would it look like if you decided to choose differently and subtract that thing from your life, not because it's bad or broken, but because you're allowed to want something different, or you're allowed to want something more, or you're allowed to want something less. Like if you allowed yourself to make decisions on what was in your life and what was not in your life, and you knew you couldn't fuck it up, what would you choose? If you knew you couldn't get in trouble, if you knew no one would find out, if you could act however you wanted to act and there would be no consequences, no pushback, no comments, how would you act? Because the reality is that that's kind of the truth. All of the comments or the concerns or the worries are often illusions in our own heads. They were for me anyway. And also people can go have their opinions about you. Who gives a fuck? You are an old money woman and you are not bothered by the opinions of others. Your mind is focused on other things. So the most old money thing that you can do is choose. And right now I'm choosing some space. I'm choosing some depth. I'm choosing to invest in other dimensions of my wealth. And I'll be back. The podcast is coming back. It's going to come back different. I think I wanted to feel a little bit lighter, a little sharper, more cultural. What do you think? More conversational? Something that I want to listen to. I've been finding myself tuning into a lot of nonsense recently because the world is heavy and life is heavy and challenging. And when I'm on a podcast, I want to kind of tune out and just enjoy myself. And that's what I want for you as well. So again, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be back. I'm going to drop a couple episodes in a little summer series. So make sure you're still subscribed. But let's talk about how we can stay in touch because I'm excited for this as well. You know, if you are a member of the Old Money community, that I'm obsessed with Old Money Monthly. This is my new favorite thing. So if you're not on the email list, please join the email list because Old Money Monthly is my work of art. I'm sorry. I'm just obsessed with it. It's where I tell you what I'm reading, what I'm watching, what I'm buying, what I'm investing in, all the things that are happening culturally. Everything has to do with old money, culture, wealth, etc. So I'm reading all the old money books. I'm reading all of the cut articles and all the things and watching the cultural commentary on Reddit. And I'm breaking it down for you so you can be the smartest person at the water cooler on Monday, if you know what I mean. And also I'll hook you up with anything that I'm like, don't buy this, or I got this and it changed my life, all that kind of stuff. The other thing is that the podcast website has so many resources for you. Like I mentioned, it has the money date checklist, which is actually my Friday checklist. But the money date template has a monthly money date checklist, a weekly, quarterly, and I also included my Friday weekly reset and my weekly review. So if you want to do the thing every Friday where you rank your life, you can get this download for free and do it. In fact, maybe I need to record a TikTok about it so I can actually show you guys like what my life binder looks like. Speaking of TikToks, I also need to be creating more TikToks. Here's the thing I haven't told you about. At our place in San Diego is booming with development right now, which is great. Like I work into development. It's great until you live across the street from 2 8-story buildings going in at the exact same time. I am a highly sensitive person. Like if there is a baseball game on at the same time the dishwasher and the dryer is running, I want to crawl out of my skin because it's too much stimulation for me. So just imagine me trying to work and record a podcast when there is jackhammering and construction trucks and concrete being poured, cranes being assembled and disassembled. I mean, it has been insane over here. And it's really been challenging because I cannot record a podcast during the day at all. Monday through Saturday, they're here from 6 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I have not been able to record a podcast or record a TikTok, for goodness sakes, for like a year and a half because there's never a break in the noise. And that's something that I'm excited about getting up to San Francisco. And that's also why I tried to be on camera for you guys, but then I was always on camera at night. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do my makeup at 9 o'clock at night when I record a podcast. Like, it's just not going to happen. So anyway, the money date templates on the podcast, or if you want to go to my Instagram and just get it straight from the link in my bio, you can do that. There is the net worth tracker. There is the simple money planner. And if you get the simple money planner, there is a series of emails that get sent out with videos where I train you on how I plan my whole year financially. It's all in there. And of course, if you want to dive deeper with the teachings that are really about the transformation that you can have with your mindset, Old Money Mindset, or if you want to set up a money machine, Old Money Method is there for you as well. But all of those freebies are online there for you at all times. So always go back there. Also, I don't know if you heard me say this. This is crazy, guys. 150 episodes. I think this is like 147. That means there's almost 150 hours of content of getting in the old money vibe, refining your money, talking about the culture and yachts and etiquette and all the things. Like, please go back into the old money library and let me know what you're re-listening to. I know you guys are always coming to me, especially hello to our new listeners who find us through a search and they're like, oh my gosh, I've binged so many episodes. Like, tell me which ones you loved. I want to know which ones you thought were the most fun, what you want to hear more of, all of that kind of stuff. So again, I'm not going anywhere. You can find me on social. You can find me on the email list. I'll be popping into your podcast feed a couple times over the summer. If you have any recommendations on anything San Francisco related, I would love to hear about it. Maybe I need to make like an old money San Francisco guide. I can definitely do an old money San Diego guide. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. But I'll be around. I promise you that. And I wanted to share a little bit about why I'm taking a break and the power that's in it for me and how secure I feel in that, I guess I can say. And I want to offer that as an expansive moment for you. I don't think this could have been me 5 years ago. I mean, I was just in such a state of dysregulation and fear and disillusionment and all of these ideas in my head about what everything meant and all these arbitrary rules and ideas about life and work and business. And the more I do the things that feel good just because they feel good, the more permission I give myself, the more my life expands and the less I have to work. I just can't tell you any more plainly than that. Then it's the alchemy of living life for yourself. I love you guys. I'm toasting my glass of champagne to you. I hope you get some caviar in your diet very soon. I hear it's good for your brain. Love you, girls. Bye. Look at you investing in your rich life one episode at a time. You're not just listening, you're leveling up. If you have questions, comments, thoughts, or prayers, slide into my inbox at oldmoneypodcast@gmail.com or in my DMs on Instagram at oldmoneypodcast. If this episode made you laugh, think, or write down a single note, please do me a solid and rate, review, and subscribe. It takes less time than your morning scroll, and it helps this show reach more future millionaires. And speaking of growing the network, please share this with your ambitious bestie, your business buddy, or your secretly rich aunt. Please share the gospel of old money, and I will be more grateful than a trust fund kid on distribution day. Thank you for being here. I'm rooting for your bank account, and I will catch you on the next episode of Old Money. Remember, I am not your lawyer, I am not your tax professional, and I am not your financial advisor. The content presented in this podcast is intended to entertain, educate, inspire, and support listeners and their personal and professional development and does not constitute business, financial, or legal advice.